Hi everyone, it's Miss B. I'm back for another episode, and today I have brought one of my personal favorite books. The title of this book is Diary of a Worm. The author of this book, who writes the words, is Doreen Cronin, and the illustrator who draws our pictures for the book is Harry Bliss. This book is so funny, I absolutely love it. And after we're done reading this book, I'm going to show you guys how you can make your very own worm farm at home. Let's get started. Put your listening ears on for the book. Diary of a Worm. First day of school. My report card. Spider made this for me. Baby picture of me and Dad. The family vacation on Compost Island. Me and Spider. My first tunnel. March 20th. Mom says there are 3 things I should always remember. Number 1, the earth gives us everything we need. Me. Number 2, when we dig tunnels, we help take care of the earth. Must make tunnel. Help earth breathe. Number 3, never bother Daddy when he's eating the newspaper. Chomp. March 29th. Today I tried to teach Spider how to dig. First of all, his legs got stuck. I think I've twisted one of my ankles. Then he swallowed a bunch of dirt. I give up. Tomorrow he's going to teach me how to walk upside down. March 30th. Worms cannot walk upside down. April 4th. Fishing season started today. We all dug deeper. Did you guys hear something? April 10th. It rained all night and the ground was soaked. We spent the entire day on the sidewalk. Hopscotch is a very dangerous game. April 15th. I forgot my lunch today. I got so hungry that I ate my homework. My teacher made me write, I will not eat my homework 10 times. When I was finished, I ate that too. April 20th. I snuck up on some kids in the park today. They didn't hear me coming. I wiggled right up between them and they screamed, "Ah!" I love when they do that. May 1st. Grandpa taught us that good manners are very important. So today I said good morning to the first ant I saw. Good morning. There were 600 more of them in line. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How you doing? Good morning. Nice to see you. Howdy. Good morning. I stood there all day. May 8th. Had the worst nightmare last night. Giant birds playing hopscotch. Mom says I have to stop eating so much garbage right before I go to bed. May 15th. I got into a fight with Spider today. He told me you need legs to be cool. Then he ran. I couldn't keep up. Maybe he's right. May 16th. I made Spider laugh so hard he fell out of his tree. Who needs legs? Thud. May 28th. Last night I went to the school dance. You put your head in, you put your head out, you do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself about. That's all we could do. June 5th. Today we made macaroni necklaces in art class. I brought mine home and we ate it for dinner. You're very talented. June 15th. My older sister thinks she's so pretty. I told her that no matter how much time she spends looking in the mirror, her face will always look just like her rear end. Spider thought that was really funny. Mom did not. July 4th. When I grow up, I want to be a Secret Service agent. Spider says I will have to be very careful because the president might step on me by mistake. It's a dangerous job, I told him, but someone's got to do it. July 28th. 3 things I don't like about being a worm. Number 1, I can't chew gum. Number 2, I can't have a dog. Can we keep him, Mom? Number 3, all that homework. July 29th. 3 good things about being a worm. I never have to go to the dentist. No cavities. No teeth either. Number 2, I never get in trouble for tracking mud through the house. Number 3, I never have to take a bath. Who's my grubby little boy? August 1st. It's not always easy being a worm. We're very small, and sometimes people forget that we're even here. But, like Mom always says, the earth never forgets we're here. Isn't this leaf awesome? Bee stung me. Mom and Dad's anniversary. Gross. I found this really cool rock. My own comic. My sister's slumber party. Hee hee. My favorite pile of dirt. The end. I hope that you guys like that book just as much as I do. Did you guys know that worms are very important to our environment because they keep our soil clean and healthy? Just like our worm in the book, worms are excellent at digging underground. So I'm going to show you guys how you can create your very own worm farm at home. Time to create the worm farm. Okay guys, now that we have read our book, A Diary of a Worm, I'm going to show you guys how at home you can make your very own worm farm with an adult. So the first thing I did is I found a clear plastic container like this one. Mine is from an empty bottle of juice, but if you have an empty 2-liter of pop, you can use that as well, as long as it's clear and it can fit a good amount in there. So what I did first is I took my scissors here and I cut off the top of my container. This is something that you should have an adult do for you. Once your container looks like this, you are going to find the materials we need to make our worm farm. So in this first container here, I have sand. This sand I just bought from the store, but if you live somewhere where you can get sand that's nearby, you can get it that way. And in this container here, I have dirt, which I just found this dirt right out in my yard. And this container here, I have grass, and I also have slices of apples, which I will explain later why I have slices of apples with my grass. And in this last container here, I have 2 worms, and they are alive. So when we make our worm farm here, the first thing we're going to need to put in here is some of our dirt. So let's move my dirt close to me here, and I'm going to scoop the dirt and put it right in my container. Let's see. You want maybe a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of dirt at the bottom. I'm not going to put too much dirt in mine because my container is a little bit smaller than a 2-liter. Okay, now that we have our dirt, we are going to need to put a layer of sand in next. So I have my sand and I'm going to scoop it in and make a layer of sand. The layer of sand can be pretty thin, you don't need a lot of it. Not as much as the dirt. So that's about enough sand right there. And then I'm going to need another layer of dirt. Bring back over my dirt and scoop another layer in here. Okay, so now I have dirt, sand, dirt, and now I'm going to need sand again. We're making a pattern with our sand and dirt. Another thin layer of sand. Okay, so we have dirt, sand, and yep, another layer of dirt. Okay, and then we're going to need another layer of sand. going to do one last layer of dirt. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of the dirt sand pattern. Now that I have my dirt and my sand in there, I'm going to put on top of that my grass and my apple shavings. I'm going to use grass and apples because that is going to provide the worm with something to eat and some nutrition. So I'm just going to sprinkle that mixture right on top here. And notice I left some room. I didn't fill my dirt and sand all the way up to the top. I left a few inches of space so I could fit the grass and the apples at the top. Okay. And now we can put our friends in here, the 2 worms. And this is where they are going to live. I'm going to put one right there. And this big long one is going to go right in here. It's going to take them a little while, but they're going to find that dirt and sand. They're going to be able to move through it. You'll be able to see the paths they take because when they move, they're going to carry that sand with them as they move. Have fun with your worm farms. See you next time. For the adults that are going to be helping the child do this craft, I have a few ideas that you can do to extend your child's thinking. The first thing I have is just a little card about this size. You can use it to put a line and then have your child try writing their name on the line if they're preschool age. If they can't independently write their name, if they're not yet to that point, you can write their name first and then they can trace it. So for example, mine says Miss B's Worm Farm, and then you can stick it on the front here. While you're doing that, you can talk about like what letter worm starts with, what letter farm starts with, the sound it makes, and then you can talk about just how you spell their name, what letters you're using to spell their name. The second idea I have is to create a scientific journal. So you can either hole punch on the side and then tie a ribbon in there to hold it together, or just use a stapler, or if they have their own science journal already, you can just use that. And depending on the age of the child, if they can write full sentences, you can have them describe things that they're seeing happening in their worm farm and then draw a picture to go along with it. If they're the preschool age, you can have them tell you what they see, you write it for them in their journal, and then they draw the picture for you. As far as extending their thinking for math goes, you can talk about patterns for preschool age and the dirt sand pattern. You can have them count how many layers they used. You can have them count how many worms they used. There's all sorts of different ways you can really go above and beyond and extend their thinking doing this. If you have any more ideas or questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below in the comment section so we can add those ideas to our list. Thanks.
There are worms in the garden underground. There are worms, and they've made a little town. And they wriggle and they giggle and they help the garden grow. When the rain comes down, they come up to say hello. There are worms in the garden underground. There are worms, and they've made a little town. And they wriggle and they giggle and they help the garden grow. When the rain comes down, they come up to say hello.